When I get into office, the first thing we have to do, social media accounts. Now, social media companies, they have to show America their algorithm. Let us see why they're pushing what they're pushing. The second thing is every person on social media should be verified by their name.
Then we have social credit score and no freedom. I might not get away with that one. Welcome back, beautiful and amazing human beings. My name is Luke Rudowski here of WeAreChange.org, and there's a lot of absolutely wild and crazy news out there, especially coming from all the turmoil in the Capitol last night and internationally, as the relations between China and the United States are not looking good, as the world becomes more and more divided on the situation in the Middle East. As of course, there is a lot of upheaval inside of the Daily Wire, as now Tucker Carlson has now officially jumped in to this larger fight between online internet personalities. What else craziness is happening in the news? Well, we're going to talk about that plus a lot more, all here on this independent media organization. If you like the shirt that I'm wearing, you can get it on thebestpoliticalshirts.com. And the clip we played in the beginning of this broadcast was done by the extremely talented Declaration of Memes at Liberty Cappy. And we, of course, will be linking his channel down in the description below so you could go follow more of his incredible meme pro-liberty magic that he sprinkles on the general public so generously. And seriously, we need more meme magicians out there. He's one of them. Check him out. Follow him as our society comes closer and closer to being an actual meme itself.
Hey, you can't park there. You can't park there.
Hey, it was a woman driver, and then related very confusing moves made by women. Today we got the breaking news that Bud Light paid $185,000 to Dylan Mulvaney for their disastrous marketing campaign that spurred on a major boycott by many right-wingers and anti-establishment figures. Reporting coming in once again from Steven Crowder, whose previous story was censored on this particular platform and other social media giants that do not like the disclosures that he is releasing. Another person that has been routinely canceled is, of course, Tucker Carlson, who was fired from his #1 primetime news slot in all of the country, who yesterday decided to host Candace Owens in their conversation about the situation inside of the Daily Wire and the Middle East, which of course is very tumultuous. The conversation, in my opinion, seemed very grounded. There weren't really a lot of shots fired that were low blows. A lot of it addressed the controversy between Candace Owens and Ben Shapiro, as now the two have taken to social media to attack each other, as the feud, of course, is escalating, as Ben Shapiro is even hinting that Candace Owens should quit from the Daily Wire after she put out a tweet that said, "Blessed are the peacemakers," specifically quoting biblical scriptures and then going on and saying Christ is king, which could be interpreted in many different ways. She could be referring to, of course, a potential call for a ceasefire in the Middle East. She could be calling for cooler heads to prevail inside of the Daily Wire as well, but that was left to interpretation. Ben Shapiro decided to interpret it in the most negative of ways and then suggest that she be fired, which Candace Owens described as unprofessional and, quote, emotionally unhinged. As there's some merit to that, of course, Ben Shapiro is triggered from biblical quotes. In related triggered news, there was also a major protest outside of the DNC last night in Washington, D.C., where 6 police officers were injured in clashes with left-wing activists, as the left-wing protesters were protesting the DNC's support for Israel, as of course the tensions got heated and people were actually arrested during this political protest. All actions that, of course, probably will be met with a slap on the wrist, as, of course, in Washington, D.C., you predominantly get punished for the crimes of your larger political ideas and expressions and not your actual actions. This, as, of course, the justice system is becoming more and more unfair, and with that, I can't recommend you guys sign up to LukeUnfiltered.com, as, of course, this is where we strive to give you the best updated information when it comes to your health, wealth, and personal security, as this is going to be an issue that we are going to be discussing at further length on LukeUnfiltered.com with a special broadcast available to you right after this one. You also get hundreds of videos all the way back nearly 10 years. You get 3 masterclasses, instructional 150 plus videos telling you how to be the best, strongest, most amazing version of yourselves, how to do a lot of life hacks. You get access to a forum, you get access to a members-only store, you get access to tickets, contests, giveaways, in real-life meetups, and more importantly now, the ability to call into our live podcast show that goes on 3 days a week. We are going to have a big show this upcoming Sunday as controversial online political commentator Jackson Hinkle will be here in studio talking to myself and Clint. It's going to be a very fascinating and interesting conversation. That conversation, if you want to be a part of it, you got to sign up to LukeUnfiltered.com. We're going to be doing a lot of really incredible things through our memberships. If you haven't signed up yet, what are you waiting for? It's quick, it's easy, it's simple. You sign up either for a monthly or you save money by signing up for a year. You click here, you put in a little bit of information, you get an email back right away, and you get access to so many instructional, self-help, personalized reports, videos, tutorials, all at your fingertips just by joining up on LukeUnfiltered.com. Sign up right now, and I will see you there right after this broadcast. As of course, we are still not done here, as currently this man is negotiating and meeting with the president of China about some very important strategic American interests and geopolitical developments.
Hey there. I'd like to sniff you. When people ask me what my favorite part of the job is, the answer comes out easily. It's sniffing hair of people like you. Sometimes at an event, sometimes out in the community. So that's why I hope you'll let your hair down for me. I'd love to give you a big old sniff.
Yeah, that of course being a fake satirical artificial intelligence video created by C3P Memes. Great work, as of course that is not too far from reality, as we just got the latest videos of Joe Biden addressing the Chinese president as a dictator, with the U.S. Secretary of State Anthony Blinken being absolutely uncomfortable with the remarks in the most expressive ways, even shaking his head, nodding it down, and just showing the biggest disapproval his body language could show, as Joe Biden is calling the Chinese president a dictator. After a 4-hour high-stakes talk with the high command of the Chinese government, as of course issues like Taiwan, fentanyl, climate change, allegedly repairing spiraling tensions were on the menu, how much of that was actually coherently expressed, debated, and negotiated with the former president of the United States, who has extensive business ties and has gotten a lot of money from the Chinese-linked government corporations? Well, that's a question that a lot of people are asking themselves. This, as another situation that they were talking about, was the very tumultuous situation inside of the Middle East, as of course China and Russia have been representing the interests of Islamic countries, and the United States has been representing the interest of Israel. This, as the Senate GOP just tweeted that there should be no ceasefire inside of the Middle East, as the conflict now turns to a hospital inside of Gaza that Israel is claiming was a major Hamas command center, as people are still waiting for adequate information and evidence to support those claims. This, as during this very important summit with all these world leaders, we're finding out that Elon Musk was, of course, replaced last minute by John Kerry during his planned speech at the summit, with some people questioning that it might have to relate to some of his comments and allegedly promoting ideas that the corporate media deems goes against the Jewish people. And of course, in my opinion, there's nothing close to that kind of reality, as of course the tweet is mainly critical against the open immigration that many leftists have called for, while simultaneously going after and hating people because of the way that they were born, specifically going after white people, which wasn't an issue for a lot of individuals until now, which I think deserves an entire video and conversation to actually give it some legitimate thought and consideration with debate for, as of course we still do not know why why Elon Musk's speech was canceled last minute, but I think it's fair to say from his viewpoints and sentiments online, he's just, one of those individuals who wants to not blow the world up, as of course this is the reality that a lot of people miss from this entire situation to just how close the world is towards a big potential global conflict that could very easily escalate in Taiwan, in the Middle East, in Ukraine. If we continue on the same pathway that we are on right now, as of course, in the making of this video, there's a new, very disturbing TikTok trend. TikTok, of course, a company linked to the Chinese government, with many young, quote, influencers talking about the Osama bin Laden letter that he released in 2002. A letter that talks about American Middle Eastern foreign policy and the important needs to, quote, resist an oppressor. Again, this is disturbing for many reasons. As of course, the theory of a blowback, criticizing American foreign policy, I believe, is absolutely legitimate. But to have it done by a larger representative, radicalized Islamist figure that represents the ideas of jihadism and terrorism, let's just be honest here, isn't a good look. Isn't the best PR here? As some people are saying that this is a PSYOP within a PSYOP from the Chinese government, I automatically want to tell everyone how this man was linked to the intelligence agencies that, of course, he did a lot of work with extensively, also in Europe, in the Middle East, and Asia. For frick's sakes, the bin Laden family was doing business with the Bushes. There was an airlift of evil in Pakistan. There's so many things to unravel here. As, of course, the CIA has officially talked about the theory of blowback themselves. And now their man, who some people say was known also as Tim Osman, also expressed the idea in a letter, which on face value is a legitimate criticism, but not when it comes to the realization that you must hurt other people because of that. That, to me, is the radicalization part that does deserve to be addressed, that is disturbing here, as of course violence begets more violence, and in my opinion, it should never be the larger answer and justification here for any of this nonsense that, of course, we are all involved in, whether we like it or not. So yeah, that's what the young kids are up to these days. Holy cow. Who's responsible here? Well, let's leave it up to the audience in the comment section below. Do you believe that this is some kind of larger Chinese PSYOP? Press number 1 in the comment section below. Press number 2 if there's some actual merit that you might believe might be in this letter, like these TikTokers are. As in my opinion, probably this is a PSYOP within a PSYOP within another PSYOP. As of course, this larger ideology is literally talked about by the CIA, which Tim Osman was connected to, and now he allegedly wrote this letter explaining this, which automatically makes a lot of people critical of American foreign policy linked to some really bad, awful people that use violence. Do you see the game here? That's what I think is happening here, in my opinion. As of course, what better way to discredit an actual critique of American foreign policy than to directly link it to some really bad, awful people that do really bad things? Those bad things, of course, awful, absolutely deserve to be called out, but these young TikTokers aren't really doing that. And, that's troubling to say the least. What do you think is really going on here? Let me know down in the comment section below. I'm going to expand on this plus a lot more with an extra video right now on lukeunfiltered.com. Live show 6 p.m. right here on YouTube this upcoming Sunday with a very, very interesting conversation. Stay tuned for that, plus a lot more. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you guys, and that's why. I love you guys. Stay tuned for more here on wearechange.org.